And now, the unboxing segment. This is a segment dedicated to the unboxings of phones, tablets, watches, or any hardware device having to do with Android. And now, here's this episode's unboxing. Chugging along, let's move on to our next segment, and that's the spotlight segment. And of course, we're bringing that mystery unboxing, the OnePlus 13. John is always getting this new stuff. I kind of want to steal one of these things, like a dog, you, John. Anyway, so John brings us the unboxing of the OnePlus 13. Great phone. John, take it away.
Hello, and welcome to the unboxing of the OnePlus 13. I just received it today, and I'm going to unbox it. So the one I received is called Arctic Dawn. I'm guessing that's a white one, and it's the 512 gigabyte version, which also has 16 gigabytes of RAM. I have the box here in front of me, and I can already tell by the thickness this is going to include a charger. So we mentioned in last week's episode that in the EU, it doesn't come with a charger, but here in the US it does. Well, it seems like it's going to. I guess I technically have not opened it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the tape. It doesn't seem to have any fancy pull tabs or anything, so I'm just going to cut it, one on each side. Let's see what we have here. Take the lid off, set it aside. Alright, now on top we have the cardboard box with, well, let's see what it has. Pull this out. We have, of course, all the booklets and stuff that we are not going to bother with. One piece of cardboard has the SIM removal tool on it. It does come with a, is this an OTG adapter? Let's see. Yeah, it's gotta be. Yeah, an OTG adapter. So converts USB-A to USB-C. Set that aside. And then of course under that we have the phone, but I'm going to take it out and set it aside. It comes in a tray, so I'm putting the tray aside for now. And then we have this massive brick 100-watt charger that has a USB-A port on it that we had a discussion about last week. Warren is not a fan of that. I don't care. I'm just happy it's included and comes with a cable. Speaking of the cable, here it is. So I'll put that brick back down in there. Let's see how long this cable is. Obviously, it's going to be a USB-C to USB-A, and I guess it's about 4 feet, so pretty typical. I'll just put it back in there. Alright, so let's get to the phone. I'm going to peel this paper off of it. And for some reason OnePlus puts a sticker on the back, so I'm going to peel that off. Okay. I like the feeling of it. I'm pretty sure, although I don't have it in hand, it feels the same as it did on the OnePlus 12. So the back is glass, but it has a matte, as you can hear, it has a matte finish to it, so it's going to be a little slick or slippery, but it won't pick up fingerprints. The good thing is the side rails are grippy, so where you're actually holding it, you're going to have some grip. I like the size and weight of it. So this does have flat sides. The last year's OnePlus 12 did not have flat sides. This does have flat sides, but the screen isn't completely flat. It does have a little bit of a curve right at the edge, but so it's not as flat as, say, the Pixel 9 series that we unboxed for you a few months ago. But I still like the feeling of it. I like the weight of it. Yeah, so I'll describe it now. Starting with the back. Same camera module. There's 4 cameras, but they're all within one circle. And it's just one flat piece of glass when you feel it. That's a round shape. I'd say it's about the size. I used this as an analogy or comparison last year as well. It's a little smaller than like the top of a soda can, but that's the size of the camera module, which again is just one piece of glass covering all the lenses. So if you were to buy a lens protector for this, it'd be very easy to install it. That's all that's on the back. Besides, I can feel where the OnePlus logo is, because the rest of the back is just slick. All right, along the right side, volume buttons at the top, and then below that is the power button or side key. Along the left side, there's the switch. I don't know if you can hear this, but so it has 3 levels. That's all that's on the left side, I believe. Yeah, I'm not feeling anything else. Along the bottom, there's obviously a USB-C port in the middle, and some microphones and speakers down there as well. I'm not sure about where the SIM tray is, but it seems like it's on the left side of the bottom. Now going to the top, I feel something that could be the microphone, or maybe that's the SIM tray. I'll have to let you know when I figure it out where the SIM tray actually is, but yeah, I touched on the important things where the switches and the key layout. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to press it now. I'm holding it down. Nothing seems to be happening. Okay, it just vibrated. So I had to hold it for a while. Hopefully that's just because it's first boot. I'm just going to sit here for a little while so you get an idea of how long it takes to boot up. Now, I don't think this is going to vibrate like Pixels do, but it looks like there's something on the screen now, so I'm going to hold 2 fingers, see what happens. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I'm going to try pressing both volume keys and holding them. It vibrated, but I didn't hear anything. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to press them and hold them. Okay. The volume is just very low.
Off talk back button.
Okay, let's see.
Welcome to TalkBack, page 1 of 5. TalkBack provides spoken feedback so that you can use your device without looking.
All right, so
To change the accessibility volume, hold one finger on the screen and press the volume up or
I'm just going to show you how loud this gets. So I'm going to back up a
turn
little.
off TalkBack button.
So this should be full volume now.
Music volume set to 31%.
Okay.
Turn off TalkBack button. Welcome to TalkBack, page 1 of 5. TalkBack provides
I'm going to back out.
Allow Android Accessibility Suite to send you notifications. Allow button.
Allow
Double
this.
tap to activate. Startup wizard. Hello.
Okay. I'm going to turn the screen off.
Screen off. Ringer silent.
Just wanted to make sure we could get TalkBack running out of the box. I'm not going to bore you with any of the setup details. If there's anything that I need to let you know about that I come across, I will pass that along during the actual episode. But that completes this unboxing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, John, for that unboxing of the OnePlus 13. Sounds like a great phone. And of course, they kind of always build nice feeling phones in the hand. And if you like something great, if you can afford it, like we talked about it, was it last week or the week before? The OnePlus 13R would be another good one to get if you can afford that $900 purchase, or is it $1,000? You could always go with the R, which is based on last year's chip, and as far as I'm concerned, last year's chip is damn good. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I think it's a better buy to get the 13R. But yeah, so I guess they're at 600 and 900 now, which is what Pixels used to be, right? Before they raised their prices. But yeah, before we talk too much about anything else, I just wanted to comment on a couple of things, because I mentioned in the unboxing I would let people know where the SIM tray was, for starters, and the SIM tray is along the bottom side all the way to the left. So the hole for the SIM tool is at the bottom left corner. So on the left side of the SIM tray, if there's also a hole on the right side of the SIM tray near the USB-C port, which is a microphone, so stay away from that one. It's all the way near the corner. That's where you put the SIM card in, on the bottom.
I tell you, many people have poke holes. The good news is that it's really hard to damage the microphone, but it's nice to know where it is, because you don't want to be poking holes until you get it.
You got to get used to the feeling of like what it's supposed to feel like once you get the tool in there. Like if it goes in too deep, you're like, this is probably a mic hole. So you get used to it, but you still don't want to be putting it worse.
Yeah.
And, at least, on I think it's still this way on the Ultra. It's been this way for years. The S series, Samsung Ultra, it has the microphone hole is literally right next to the SIM hole, and it's like
it is.
Yeah, that's
so
frustrating. Yeah, at least put the ejection part on the opposite side of the SIM tray.
Exactly, like the OnePlus has it on the left, so that it's there. There's no way you're gonna poke the hole, because the Ultras have it right next to each other, so it's on the right side of left side of the USB port, but you have the mic right there and the SIM right next to each other. That's really bad.
And something else I need to mention, because when I entered that recording, I said I'd let you know about accessibility issues if I encounter any, and literally like within 30 seconds of stopping that recording, I ran into one, and right out of the box, TalkBack is unable to continue with the setup, because on the screen it says something along the lines of hello, and then below that it'll say let's get started, or something like this. I might not have those exactly right, but the point is there's a button at the bottom of the screen, and I don't know what the button says. It's either next, continue, get started, something like that.
It's next or continue, because I had the Nord series that I got like last month. I got like 4 of them for someone, some people on the East Coast, and it says hello, and then at the bottom there's
so did you also have this issue with TalkBack, or did it work for you?
No, it worked with TalkBack.
Okay, so this might be is probably an Android 15 thing. Yeah,
Android 15, because even with my 10T, it worked with TalkBack. So
Yeah. So what's happening is it's not letting me focus that button at all. I can't explore to it. I can't swipe to it. So you're kind of stuck at that point. I mean, what I did was I did the pass through gesture of double tapping and holding with 4 fingers. That's the default pass through gesture. And then I just tapped near the bottom of the screen and I got lucky and it put me to the next screen. But I heard from somebody else that you can just turn off TalkBack with the volume keys and hit that button and then turn it back on. I was afraid to turn it off because I didn't know if it would turn back on once I was off that first screen.
yeah.
So that's why I did the pass through gesture. But apparently you can turn it off and turn it back on later. So that was the first issue I encountered. And after that, the only other issue I came across was when registering. And this is how it's been, if I remember correctly. Even on the OnePlus 12, it was this way. When you're registering your fingerprint, there's no feedback. Like, it doesn't tell you, like, lift your finger, press it again. You know, all the things, like, when it's telling you, like, try the side of your finger now, like, all those steps, it doesn't voice any of that. So you just feel vibrations. And I just kept pressing it over and over again until I got to the next step. But there was no feedback.
But it does let you know when the finger's successfully added, right? So you could, if you want to add a second one. I don't remember, what my 10T did. Did it indicate for you when you were done adding that finger and letting you know you could now add another one?
Yeah, it did. I don't remember honestly. I kept touching it and then I would explore the screen to see if I was still on the same screen, because you can explore it and you can see that what the next direction is if you put it in focus with TalkBack. So yeah, eventually I realized I was no longer registering my fingerprint and I had the option to continue.
Yeah, that's such a shame, though, because it's such a great device. This is one of the reasons, guys, we've been talking about the fact that some of these companies need some people with disabilities in there. It wouldn't hurt for them to have someone who is blind to be testing these things for them. I don't know why they don't do that, because this is really important. But like we've said, and we'll say it again, we're always an afterthought. Believe it or not, no one thinks about us. And I don't care what anyone says. No company thinks about us. That's quite unfortunate.
I mean,
Yeah.
I will. So it's been a mixed bag so far. I've come across a lot of accessibility issues, not deal breakers, but just annoyances. So I think I'm going to start, even if I don't use this as my daily driver, I think I'm going to keep it this time around and start submitting feedback and see if it does
Yeah.
manifest.
Very
Because
good.
last year I was just like, I sold the phone and moved on. So, so they do. It's in certain areas I can see that they care. Like, for example, the way you power off the phone, when you bring up the power menu, there's like a switch looking thing on the screen that you can swipe down to power off the phone or swipe up to restart the phone. And for a sighted,
I like that.
yeah, and for a sighted user, you have to put your thumb or finger on the switch and slide it down.
Yeah.
Or put it on the switch and slide it up. You can't swipe anywhere on the screen. You actually have to grab the switch and move it.
Oh,
But when
isn't that good, Val?
TalkBack is enabled, it says out loud,
Swipe
it says
down.
swipe up with 2 fingers to restart, or swipe down with 2 fingers to
Yeah.
power off, and you can swipe anywhere on the screen. So they have, like, you don't actually have to swipe on the switch itself. So they have, like, gone out of their way to make sure certain things are accessible with TalkBack, and it even behaves differently with TalkBack. Like, if you have TalkBack running and you bring up, and I did this just to see what would happen. I brought up the power menu and I did a pass-through gesture on TalkBack, and I swiped away from the switch with just 1 finger, and it worked. So they know that TalkBack is running, and they make it so that you don't actually have to touch on the switch, and that allows the 2-finger pass-through to work anywhere on the screen. So they are going out of their way to fix certain things, but I think hopefully if I submit some of this feedback, that I've come across will see improvements.